Hi guys, Tonya here. So sharing is caring, right? I like to share products and services that I love or like or that save me time or money. And in turn, if I share them to you, you can reap the same results. Great thing about social media. But this isn't so much a product or service, but it is an important topic, menopause. I was just diagnosed last year. When I started having symptoms, kind of knew that it was menopausal, although I was 40, turning 46. It was a little too soon, but I had all the signs. The night sweats were awful, just awful, and the anxiety was through the roof. There were days I just didn't feel like myself at all. Days that I had a hard time getting out of bed, and that was not me. So the writing was on the wall that I was menopausal, but it was kind of going through vacation time, so it was not a great time to go get my levels assessed or anything. So we went and got some things over the counter to try to even me out before I could do that. Well, when I went and talked to the doctor, she gave me the options. Yeah, sounds like you're menopausal, of what it is that I could do. Well, she gave me the option to go back on the pill, but she's like, that's kind of carte blanche. That's not to you specific. Or we could do a pellet that she would implant into my back. That had to be done every couple of months, and it wasn't covered by insurance. So it got a little costly, but she recommended that one pretty much the most. She told me she would call me with my results. She checked my thyroid and vitamin D levels because those were probably off as well. Everything was off, so I'm on thyroid medication, I'm on extra vitamin D, and of course my hormone levels. Well, she was giving me all this hormonal information. It was like, because I knew nothing. The levels and the numbers and estrogen and estradiol and testosterone and what? So I had no idea what this piece of paper was that I was looking at and how I was going to make a decision of the options that she gave me so that I could stop having the symptoms so dramatically. So I asked a friend to lunch, she's a pharmacist, thank you, Megan, and what this was, to try to walk me through and give me some insight on what. Well, she's never heard of the pellets. She asked me if she gave a recommendation for compounding. I'm like, no, she didn't. Well, Megan is a compounding pharmacist, so she knew a lot. She was a wealth of information. And she said, well, that sounds like that would work best for you versus a pellet, since I don't know anything about that, and we could research it, but nonetheless. So I went back, and I said, okay, well, I've got a friend, she's a pharmacist, and she recommended compounding. Can we do that? And she's like, yeah, you can do that. So she gave me the levels. Now I want to talk about dosage. So she gave me the levels of 2 milligrams of X and 2 milligrams of Y, okay? And that's what I was on. As I started taking the medication and the thyroid medication, everything kind of evened out. There was definitely a noticeable difference, so that was good. She had me come back to recheck my thyroid. She wanted to make sure those levels were better. But she didn't recheck my hormone. I didn't think anything about it. I'm not the doctor, all right? It was working. I had, the symptoms had subsided. the anxiety was not out of the roof. The night sweats were still here and there, but I'm like, maybe that just happens. Maybe you still just get some of the symptoms. And of course, we're women, so our body goes through a whole bunch of different things, or maybe it's stress. The holidays came, I wasn't going to go get retested because everything goes downhill from there. We're not doing things for ourselves. But come January, I got retested because I'm like, I'm still having night sweats. Like, there are still levels that I really feel like my hormones are off. Some days are better than others. So maybe it's just a hit or miss. I don't know. So we got retested. And I share this because hopefully it can help someone or someone that you know. My test results came back. Instead of 2x, and 2x, now it's going up to 4 and 5. My hormones, the medicine she was giving me were off by a half. Like, it's doubling. And it's just wow. Like, I was like, I can't believe it was off that much. I don't know anything about the dosage and how it all works, but what I do know is I've been going for 6 months on the wrong dosage of medicine. And if someone else can ask more questions and not go through this, I would like to help. So if this was helpful, just comment or share. I'd be happy to share the over-the-counter medicine that I took. If you feel like you're undergoing symptoms and you want to start taking something tomorrow. But reality is I just wanted to share because it was kind of like, wow, it was off that much for that long a period of time. And she never had me come back in to get retested. So as a woman, I should have asked sooner, but I didn't. So hopefully this will help somebody out there sooner and not go through symptoms for as long as I did. Thanks, guys. Talk to you later.